Hi, I'm Barry. We've now finished our walls, so now we need to bring forward our woodwork. Okay, so if you remember from some of our previous videos, we were using pine, which is on our skirting boards and our door frames. And if you remember, they're quite resinous. Okay, so we've put our 2 coats of knotting solution on. So that's all dried. And then the next stage, we put on our acrylic wood primer. And when we're painting our bare timber, it's like a 4-coat system. So we generally apply 2 coats of acrylic wood primer, and then either we can go through a few different finishes. So we've got acrylic gloss, okay, so it says there it's a high gloss finish. Then we've got our satin wood, again, which is not quite as shiny. And then we've got our eggshell, and we quite like using eggshell. And if you look, this is what they call it, is if you look at the outside of an egg, it's got this slight sort of sheen to it, okay, and that's what eggshell does. Okay, or that's the sheen level that it gives. So these are just ones that we just picked up off the shelf. This is a brand new tin. But again, don't throw these away. You'll find these in your garages or your sheds all the way around the country. Again, don't throw these away. We can recycle them. Okay, so what we're going to find in these tins, they could be sitting on the shelf for years. We don't know who used them before, and you could have loads of bits in them. And when we've actually prepared our skirting boards or our door frames or even our doors to a very, very high level, what we don't want to do is get any bits in there to spoil the finish. Okay, so a little painter's trick for you. Let's just open this up. We'll try to anyway, you don't know how long this has been here. Okay, so get your corner of your scraper. Okay, and then just start to lever it up. And once you've gone roughly halfway around with your corner, again, we're not trying to damage the lid here. Okay, then let's get the tang part in. Okay, put it towards your chest and just lever it up. Okay, let's have a look what's inside here. Okay, that's not too bad, but there, if you can see all those bits that have actually come into the paint. And we don't want to put them onto our surface. And again, if you look on the inside of this ridge, there's all sorts of bits and debris in there which we don't want. So what we've got, let's just give this a good stir as well. Okay, so we're getting all the pigments from the bottom, mixing all the chemicals together. Okay, so I'll get our brush, swipe our stick down to the back of the tin. Remember, you only use one side of your tin. Okay, so to stop all the bits and the nibs getting into our paint, you can buy these painter's sieves. And these are quite cheap, you can pick these up, no problem. Or failing that, you can just use a lady's stocking. Okay, so get your kettle, get your sieve, a couple of pieces of masking tape, make sure they're nice and secured. On the edges. And if you don't do this, the sieve will just fall into the paint. Okay, so push them down nice and tight. Get our brush. Okay, so remember, how do you pour your paint? Left-handed here, got a brush in my right hand, pouring out the back of the tin. And this, because it's quite a fine mesh, you're going to probably take a good 10 minutes for it to sieve through. So it's been around 10 minutes, and as you can see, the sieve has done its job. And these bits in there. So we now just need to dispose of this responsibly, and then the paint underneath. I'll just get this off without dropping it. It's good to go.